All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stories from a Mountain Town. This is your host, Tyler, and today I'm coming to you from the bowels of Jackson Hole Stillworks Distillery. We're literally in the back here where all the stuff's being made. With me, I have Chaz and Trav from Jackson Hole Stillworks. Guys, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Owners, partners, proprietors of Stillworks. If you guys want to talk a little bit about the company, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure, man. Well,
Go for it, Travi.
Yeah.
So what is Stillworks?
What's that?
What is Jackson Hole Stillworks?
Well,
From a very basic standpoint.
looking around, it looks like it might just be a small craft distillery.
Yes.
Located in the heart of Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a cool little craft distillery that we make everything from scratch. We're a grain-to-bottle distillery using all regional ingredients. Chaz and I are damn good buddies. Been good friends for, goddamn, 20 years, man.
20 years.
Yeah, and
Seems like yesterday.
yeah, just started this up. It's been 6.5 years ago that we kind of started it up.
Yeah.
And we've been full operation for 5 years, and
we're still friends.
we're still friends. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Super small crew, just a couple. It's obviously us working every day, but then we've got 2 guys working for us, and it's making good hooch, man.
Yeah. Putting down barrels and having fun, getting creative. It's sort of the nature of the business. And where we started was we wanted to source all of our grains as much as possible from within Wyoming, really as much as we could from within Wyoming, and then just kind of craft delicious spirits from wonderful base grains.
Yeah, and so you guys do a vodka, a regular gin, and then a double cask gin are the 3 spirits you're doing right now.
Yeah, those are the 3 that are available.
Yeah.
Well, the double cask gin is soon to not be available. We're running out of it, but don't worry, we're making more. It just takes a while. But we've laid down a bunch of rye whiskey as well, a little bit of bourbon, some other kind of funky, cool things that we're not telling you about.
Have you publicly stated the rye whiskey yet?
We haven't. No,
So-
I mean, we don't deny that it's in existence.
Yeah.
But it's like. It's just kind of out. It's just doing its thing, sitting in its barrels. It's been there for getting close to a year. It's going to be in there for at least another one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting the boys in trouble with this, but one of the Fridays that I was here, you guys were gone, we may have sampled it.
Oh wow! Jeez,
Yes.
God.
It was delicious. I've never had like a from the barrel whiskey. It was amazing.
That is awesome. I'm
That's
glad
fun.
you enjoyed it. Yeah,
Good.
we tasted all the barrels actually. That was just like 2 weeks ago.
Just like 2 weeks ago.
And we're stoked, man. I mean,
Yes.
we're really happy with how they're coming along. So
They're progressing well.
Do
It's
you-
fun.
Do you prefer making one of any of the 3 spirits that you're doing?
I think
Is
that
there one
when we
that's your favorite?
started, I mean, really kind of the nature of a small craft distillery startup is that you go for the unaged spirits category. And
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time working on vodka because we wanted to create a vodka that we really liked, and we didn't have a whole lot of them out there that we did. So we spent a lot of time with that, and that gave us a lot of our foundation on distilling and mashing different grains. We both had a lot of brewing. Travis has a ton of wine background. So getting into it, with both feet and really, digging in to try and learn the process. I think when we progressed to gin, it was like, yes, like we were excited to get to gin. We love making the vodka, but the gin gave us another creative component with adding botanicals. And I think as we go into more and more spirits, whether that's rye or bourbon, and we're going to do weeded whiskey and maybe a couple other styles, I think it just revs up the creative energy a little bit more. It's not that we're very passionate about what we do, but I think that something new is always exciting. It's always something fun to kind of change up the program a little bit. So the more we get into that, I think we'll find those, creative juices flowing.
Yeah, and I think just from our conversations about the process, does vodka have some more like standards that you kind of have to stick to when you make it?
yeah, that's kind of like what Jazz was alluding to is, and what you're saying is, vodka is a pretty strict spirit. There's not, there's variation on what the base material is that you're making it out of. Obviously, we're using Wyoming grown corn and oats. there's wheat vodka, potato vodka, and all these things, but you have to distill it out to 190 proof in order for it to be considered vodka.
Yeah.
And so that when you're distilling something that far and that deep, you're gaining almost pure ethanol. So there's not as much variance to work with there. Whereas when we got to start making gin, it's the cool thing about gin is that it truly is the expression of the distiller. There's very little government regulation on flavor compounds. It's like it has to have juniper in it, and that's about it. So
I think the definition is it has to be.
It's like a majority.
It's majority juniper, which everybody plays with, and there's very citrus heavy styles and other flavor compounds that people play on more heavily. We kind of played the happy medium between that sort of classic London dry and sort of the new American style, where we do have those florals and citrus notes and a hint of cinnamon on the back, which is really fun, but it has juniper backbone.
I didn't realize you had cinnamon in there. I had the Absorica the other day, and I had it. I was just like trying it with different stuff, and I had it with some. I can't remember, but it almost finished like a cinnamon whiskey, and I was like, "Is that cinnamon? Am I getting a little bit of spice from the cinnamon there?
Yeah,
what is
just
that?"
a little bit of holiday spice on the tail end there.
And I didn't realize there was that in there. I was like, "That's weird. Maybe I'm just had too much of it. I'm tasting weird shit."
Yeah.
So that sounds like you had the right amount.
The botanical base on that was pretty simple, very robust in terms of all of the botanicals that we used to create it. But we felt like going into barrels, certainly freshly dumped whiskey barrels, that the botanical side was going to have to hold up against a lot of age and a lot of wood and all these other things. So we still wanted those things to come through. But that cinnamon side kind of transformed a little bit into that kind of nutmeggy, clove, allspice, holiday side to it. It's good at all times of the year, though. Not just in the fall and winter. But it really kind of did its own thing. And those flavors are not anything that have to do with the botanicals other than the cinnamon.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see how other flavors come out in the aging process with that. And we've had a lot of people comment on that and say, "Oh, I get this," and we're like, "Well, great, because it's not in the botanicals that we put in it, but we're glad you're getting it.
Yeah,
you're enjoying it." So it's sort of fun though.
Yeah, it's just so cool how spirits change in oak barrels over time.
Yeah,
that's you put in this crazy heavy botanical gin that we made for the Absorica, and then you taste the Absorica. If you were to taste the two, like the unaged versus the finished product, I mean, they're indiscernible. You cannot.
No connection.
Yeah, there's almost no connection because there's just so much chemical reactive process that happens in the barrel over the year and a half that it takes to age the spirit. So.
Yeah, I like how you said the chemical process, because it's so much of a combination of an art and a science.
True.
The art is the creativity of like what botanicals, an artistic word. What floral things are we going to put in here? What flavor pattern do we want in this, or palette do we want in this? And then the science of like, look at all these machines around us. Like this looks like an evil scientist laboratory.
Yeah, just a drunk scientist laboratory. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys were here when I sent those the bottles to my parents, or my mom and my stepdad in Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
they're already planning like a cul-de-sac gin party
in
the driveway.
Cool.
Yeah,
sweet.
Because Minnesota is not one of the states you guys sell to yet.
Right, not yet.
So
we'd love to.
And I think one of the neighbors has actually had Absorica before.
Oh, really?
Randomly, like I don't know if they've been here or something,
cool.
but he's like a huge gin guy.
Oh,
so he's had it, and so they're planning a big gin party.
Oh wow, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's from Johnny and Margaret. My sister and brother-in-law live in Excelsior.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe they were over at their house.
Or they could be.
I know they have a bunch of.
Could be friends of Nelson's too, because
that's
they
true.
always get a bunch too. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he just traveled somewhere that he found it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was I was going to ask you guys something else.
It's sort of fun to think about how our products, being in such a tourist town, like filter their way into so many other places that we're not really distributing, and people come in, and we've got Harvest Host is one of the things that we're part of, and we get RVers in here, a couple of them a night that take off and they have our stuff and they go tell their friends, and we get a lot of phone calls.
There's your sales
How
team
can I
right
get
there.
some more of this?
Yeah.
How can I get some more? Which is fun.
It's basically, it is pretty much like a grassroots sales team. Like,
Could you explain Harvest Host to the audience?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Harvest Host is a membership program that people sign up for, and I think it's like $70 or $80 a year, and they have a whole list of different places where people who are traveling around the country can stay, and a lot of them are farms and wineries and even breweries and of course distilleries like us.
Golf courses.
Golf courses.
The Lynx is doing it.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
That's a cool.
That's a sick spot. You're looking at the Grand.
Wow.
And you're on a golf course.
Wow.
And you just get the
That's
RV
good
there.
to know because people are always asking us for
Yeah.
cool places to stay that we can actually direct them over there.
Yeah.
It's
a perfect connection to like you'll probably say this, but they're not expected to buy anything from the hosts.
Yes.
But they're
Encouraged.
It's kind of like
yeah.
it's part of the culture of Harvest Hosts. I mean, I guess they're creating their own culture, but
yeah.
Everybody that comes here, they always buy something. There's always, some friend of theirs that likes gin. If they don't, there's something for everyone, and anywhere you stop. And of course, the golf course side would be really cool too, because you're waking up and getting the early tee time, playing around, and going into the park or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that there's, it's not, required, but it's certainly encouraged, which supports local businesses. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, and what's so cool about the Harvest Host thing, Chaz mentioned that it's like $80-ish for a membership. That's for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, around here, you go to an RV campground or something like that, you're going to pay probably that, if not more, just for one spot for one night, and you don't really get anything out of it. I mean, you're supporting that local business, of course, obviously, but you're not, for somebody to come here and park their RV and grab a sloshie and a bottle of booze that they're going to enjoy the rest of their trip, or one night, depending on who they are. But but yeah, it's a really cool organization, and it brings us a lot of business.
Yeah.
So it is when the woman contacted us from Harvest Host to become a Harvest Host, Chaz and I, we get hit up with stuff all the time, and we're like, oh God, this is going to cost us a bunch of time and money or something like that, and we just could not find the downside of it. And we've been doing it for a year now, and we still can't find the downside of it. It is a true win-win for both sides.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And note to Harvest Host members, it recommends a week in advance. I would do as far in advance as possible.
Years in advance, if possible, for us.
Because we're the only game in town, we get 20 to 30 calls a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been seeing the Facebook messages, and it's like, hey, we're an hour out. Can we come be at your Harvest Host? And I'm just like, I don't know if that's going to work.
Doubtful,
It's tough. Yeah. But people are, the fun thing is, and you see all the RVs cruising around, these are wonderful people who are retired or taking, the first part of the year off with their kids, and they're coming to have a great time. They're fully relaxed, and they're really interested, genuinely interested in what we do, and I'm sure wherever they stay, what those folks are doing. So you get these people that are genuinely excited about learning and couldn't be friendlier.
Yeah.
It couldn't be nicer.
It's such a good group of people.
Yeah, and they come into whatever area it is, and they're like, that's like the perfect moment where they're trying to learn about the area, even if they've been here before. Yeah. But they can roll in, and you guys are resources to the area. They'll be like, hey, we're trying to get some, dinner at this kind of place. Do you know any spots?
Yeah.
And you're a resource there for them.
Send them across the street to the Bird. You take a hike. There's a killer hike right up Wilson Canyon right here,
Yeah. And it's so chill. There was one day I rolled up here, and there was a Harvest person. What do you call them? What do they call the customers of them?
Harvest Hostee? I don't know.
Harvest Host
member.
There was an RV in your parking lot.
Yeah, okay.
And I just walked up, and we got into like this 15-minute conversation about our dogs, because they're just super interested in just like whatever. Like, I mean, they thought I worked for you like directly, but everyone does when I'm here. But it's just super cool. They're just like chatting their asses off. It's awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your fourth main product.
Right.
We have a couple variations in our hands.
Yes.
Our sloshies.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You guys are changing the flavors like every day, every week or so as you get through the batch.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like
fresh.
fruity flavors. Ex-Lover is a spicy flavor.
That's what I'm drinking.
Everything.
Wonderful.
And we've talked about this before on the podcast and with you guys. Sloshies are this super interesting dynamic where it's an alcoholic slushy, not abnormal to anywhere else.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's just a Jackson Hole thing.
It is. It's crazy. Like the people that come in from out of town are, they look us up on Instagram or something like that, and they see all these comments about, best sloshies in town. I don't even know what those are, but they just show up because they're like, I need to know what a sloshie is. It's at a distillery. It's got to be good. Yeah. And then but it is crazy. I mean, there's got to be 30 places that you can get sloshies in this town.
For sure.
Now every restaurant, any bar will do one.
Yeah, if you have a liquor license in this town and you don't do sloshies, you're probably missing out.
It's a lot of revenue. Yeah, for sure.
That also makes it competitive. So we kind of have to we stepped up our game and we use all like fresh ingredients and like real fruit juices, no powdered mixes or anything like that. And obviously, we have pretty good control over the quality of the booze that's going in the product. So it's cool. It gets it draws a ton of people to the distillery that would otherwise not know we were here.
Yeah.
And they're delicious.
Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna give kudos to Zach and Mike who work for us. And Travis and I played around with sloshies for a little while when we were first kind of, stepping into that. And Zach and Mike came along and completely transformed all of our sloshy offerings and going with classic cocktails and fun new stuff and kind of we'll just brainball one in here and sit down and be like, we need to do a winter one or a fall one. And you just kind of are drumming it around your head and one of the two of them will be like, I got it.
Yeah.
And they'll just go to work and they'll put it all together and come back and be like, what do you think of this? And it's fun. So there's another creative aspect of the business is that we have all these products and we make those on the regular and we're being more creative in that space. But the immediate satisfaction is, how successful is our new sloshy flavor?
Yeah.
Well, and we're always doing trying to collaborate too with local ingredients too. Like we just polished off yesterday the You're My Boy Blue, which was a really cool blueberry lavender sloshy with our Great Gin, and the main alternative ingredient in there was this lavender blueberry jam from Roots Kitchen and Cannery here in town.
Yeah. Was that the one we did the giveaway with?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we did that awesome Instagram giveaway. That gal came in, by the way, and was stoked to have her 2 free sloshies.
Free sloshies.
Do that. We've done one with Humble Brew. Awesome, the
Humble Russian.
Yeah, the Humble Russian. Oh my god!
You make a sloshy out of that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
no way.
It's awesome. I mean, it's it's a small run because it uses a lot of the cold brew coffee that these awesome people make. But at the same time, I mean, we put it on and it was gone.
Yeah. Was that a winter one?
It was, or at least I think it was
fall, winter.
February or something like that. Where we did that. Something like that.
Where do they sell?
We'll do it this fall.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Is it Albertsons, Smith's?
No, I think he's got it. I think they've got it over at Whole Grocer, and there's a bunch of
I know have it on tap.
Yeah, they've got they have it on tap over at Persephone, I think. And
I think they had it at the Rose, I believe.
But yeah, some of the cool shops in town, like restaurants and stuff, have it.
Yeah, that was in cans. Well, I was editing that video we did with them.
Oh yeah.
Or him.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good iced coffee at 2 in the afternoon. That's my keep
bump.
going.
Yeah,
that's my little bump for the afternoon.
Yeah.
Little iced coffee, but I haven't been able to find them yet.
Yeah, there's a number of different styles, but their holiday one is fabulous. It's got some really fun kind of all-spicy elements to it, and just kind of has that feel of fall and sort of the Christmas season to it. But it's good year-round too.
Really good with Absorga.
It probably might be all right with Absorga.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're great, and I think the demand on them, everyone loves it, and I think they're just figuring out how to keep up. With demand, which is great.
They're just canning all the time because that people are freaking out about their stuff.
Yeah, their story, I thought, similar to you guys and similar to a lot of small businesses here. I really loved that. He moved here to just live the mountain life. Was working as a bartender, doing gigs around town, like a lot of people do here. and then he loved iced coffee and didn't like what there was out there, and just started a company.
I'm just going to fix it. It's kind of like us with vodka. We didn't like vodka, but we drank it because we drank everything. So we're like, let's make better vodka. So we think we did, and continue to do so.
So many businesses are like people that come here to live the mountain life. They are not entrepreneurs by trade. They're just like, I like this thing. I want to make this thing. And then they just go make a successful business out of it. Yeah. And that's what Jackson is made up of.
It is.
And it's so cool.
It is.
I think there's a lot to say about that aspect of even just your podcast. Like the creative nature of mountain towns and fulfilling the need, because, big city, you got all these options. You can go anywhere and get whatever the hell you want. Mm-hmm. And in mountain towns, usually small populations. Ours is about 11,000 people, and some of the bigger resorts might have 20 or so, but those folks are looking for things, and they're looking for really, locally made products and things that are made. Mm-hmm. And those people who fulfill that need have a great story behind all of their, build up of the business. And I think that's a lot about ours. I mean, we certainly feel that way, and we were going to start as a brewery, and then, Roadhouse and Melvin.
Been 7 breweries started
Snake
here.
River, and there's all these like breweries, and we're like, well, maybe we can, divert a little bit towards a distillery, and there wasn't one in the valley, and so we kind of switched gears, right?
Yeah, one thing we didn't mention, you're the only distillery here right now.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And the only one that ever was here with you was Wyoming Whiskey, right?
Yeah, but they're not based in Jackson. They're a Wyoming-based company, obviously.
Yeah.
But
didn't they start here, though?
No, their corporate offices are based here.
Oh,
but because the owners all live around here.
They operate in
Kirby. Kirby, Wyoming is where they are.
I've driven past their spot, and it is out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's so sweet, though.
Because it's just like their big logo with like the big horns behind it, I think, and it's out there.
Yeah, they make great whiskey, though, man. We're good friends.
Probably this 1 foot square here is as expensive as their entire site.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of nowhere
that
there.
definitely presents its challenges, as I'm sure like you've with everybody that you've interviewed with your podcast says. It's just like, that running a business in a mountain town is always challenging because it's always expensive. Real estate is a killer around here, so it's, it offers its financial challenges for sure, and that's why Chaz and I work every darn day, because it's cheaper than hiring somebody.
Right. So if you're talking barriers to entry, it's not just the leases and the real estate. It is also about, hiring, and, you gotta grind it out and figure out how to make your business successful on, budgetary constraints. And that for us has been, a lot of stress, but we love what we do, so it's not it's not awful, but it's we'd like to have a day off or 2 a week. Eventually, we'll get there.
We might even get there soon. Who knows?
Yeah. But that's a lot of work.
Phone call coming in. I think one of the boys will get it.
Okay. This is what I was telling you guys. Yeah. So this is perfect. So, like I said in the intro.
Wait, I bet it's Harvest Toast.
Okay, yeah, I guarantee this is Harvest
Toast.
Check this out. Jackson Hole Steelworks. This is Travis.
Yes, it's Harvest Toast.
You can actually just pop right in for a tasting. We're open from 10 to 6 every day, so just swing on by. We can't wait to see you. You bet. Bye. Oh, it wasn't Harvest Toast.
Not Harvest Toast?
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Eric.
And he hammed it up for the camera, too.
So that's perfect timing. I was saying before this, it's perfect if we get someone to call in or a noise to go off or something to happen while we're doing this, because we're in the bowels of it. We're in the operations of it. You guys are owners of it, but you're running it day to day. You're creating the stuff. You're serving sloshies in the front. Like, you're doing all of it. And it's like, since you're loving it, it's really the American dream.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I know so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very different. Nowadays, to start a business, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people out there doing very similar things, and there is certainly, the grip it and rip it, using golf analogy. But there's part of it where you have to just sort of, put it out there and take the leap and try to be successful. And for folks that you interview that have small businesses, boy, there are plenty of those leaps. And there's so many times when you're like, I hope this works. I really, like, you believe it, you know it, you feel it, you're confident about it, but there's still a part of you in the back of your head that's like, God bless, I hope this is successful. And there's a lot that aren't, and there are a lot that are, but it's not as it's a challenging environment to start small businesses, and I think that people that do, tip of the hat, support local for that exact reason, because most everybody in those small towns is obviously risk a lot, but there's also a lot more than that to lose. So anytime we say every bottle we sell we're very thankful for every single bottle, and that is very true, because it means the difference between them buying a big brand product versus our small craft products, and that for us is
it's not
pays
going
the bills. It really pays the bills.
Yeah, their bottles here, they're not going to investors, they're not going to a famous person endorsing it. You're keeping this place going when you buy from here, keeping you guys being able to do the activities you love to do here in Jackson, and I liked your point about that's kind of that scared moment when you finally put whatever you want to offer as a small business out into the world. I'm facing that too with the marketing stuff.
I mean, you should interview yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I have my partner on here, and we've talked about it a little bit, but it's like, I wanted to for sure say this on here. We want to thank you guys so much for like just letting us do your marketing, because you guys are the first client we've had that we're able to do everything that we actually want to do, and it's working really well. And so we've been preaching this for the 2 years since we started it to all these businesses who are like, yeah, I want you to do everything, but for a nickel. And we're like, right? No.
We're like, we'll be inexpensive in comparison. However,
we need to charge you something.
Make money.
We have 2 people dedicated to this who both have degrees in this and experience in this, so we need to charge something. But it's been so much fun being able to do everything we've been preaching and see it work. And it's like, it's great that we can provide that service to you guys, but it's reciprocating back to be like, oh, we were right.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's so cool. I mean, we've always wanted to bring someone on to do marketing, but it's expensive and it's time consuming, and we tried hiring somebody specifically to do it, and it just doesn't. We can't really afford that person, and to have you guys come along and take us through the roof in like 2 months, man.
Yeah, I'm blushing.
Like 2 months. It's like you look at you can pinpoint the day that you guys started by the ramp up of our Instagram followers. I mean, it is awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, and to your point, I don't think for most small businesses it makes sense to have a dedicated in-house person for marketing.
Right, because it's
especially
expensive.
here. Like they got to make $50,000 to live here. And I mean, Alex and I are fully supporting your marketing efforts for much less than $50,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it just doesn't really make sense to have someone in-house. The perfect balance, and we're sad to see Zach have to move away, but the perfect balance is have someone in-house who can be a part of it, knows it, can help, but then have someone who's like really an expert to drive things, and kind of work in tandem. Where Zach could be like, we've done this before. How did it work? Didn't work? Yeah. Or like I would say, Zach, I can't make it there today. Can you get some sloshy pictures? Having that balance where someone that's here every single day and they're doing other stuff to make their employment worth it for you guys.
Yeah.
But they can do marketing, and I can provide expertise with that and kind of reassure his
It's
thoughts.
having that direction, or it's having like you guys give the direction to the liaison at the company. So that we're not creating necessarily the content, whereas so much, or maybe it's just snapping a photo or something like that, but you just tell us what to do, and we're like, okay, boom, there you go. And then we don't have to deal with it, and all of a sudden, like 50 people show up from like a Google ad. It's like
our map actions are insane.
Insane.
We were looking at it. It's like 900 map actions since we started.
Yeah,
which is 900. For those who don't know, 900 people saw this Jackson Hole Steelworks ad on Google and then clicked on to get directions to here.
So they all 900 people came here and spent money because of you guys.
Well,
we
hope marketers.
We're batting 1,000.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yep.
But even if you
theoretically they did.
25% of 900 is a lot of traffic. But I think kind of going back on what you guys. First of all,
and that's I think that's a big part of our value proposition right now. Is like, I grew up dreaming of living here, and now I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so my heart and my soul is in this town, and I've only been here for a year and a half, so I would never say that I'm like this grizzled veteran of the town. I've seen good winners and bad winners. I've been paying.
He is growing a beard.
Thousands.
Yeah.
This is weird to me. I've never done this before.
Guys, it's looking good, sir. Yeah.
We're going to see him at the end of the bar at the Stagecoach.
Yeah.
On the regular.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I live like biking distance from the coach. So.
All right.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go to beer.
But so I'm new to the area. I've not learned everything about it, but my passion for it, I think, stands out. I would hope it stands out, because that's what I try to portray when I'm talking to people about our business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I love this place so much, and I love the small business dynamic, and I understand. I can also view it from the tourist side, because I was coming here with my family for so many years as a straight up tourist, where we basically didn't leave the village, and so I can see. I kind of can see that viewpoint, and I can figure out how to pull people out of the village, pull people out of the park, pull people out of the square to do these activities.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And I yes, you can see that it's happening. And creating that opportunity for you. I mean, you guys are busting your asses doing what you do. You do have your time to go mountain bike and enjoy your environment. But at the same time, there's no shortage of hustle.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, I would say that's really such a huge part of anyone that wants to start a business in a small town, and having great partners and great people that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
Having that hustle, you know.
Yeah.
One thing
It's
I wanted
great
to say,
working with you.
he's great working with you.
You guys are awesome. I told Alex, my partner, this. I aspire that for our relationship to be like your guys, because what I
helps
constantly
having
try to,
20 years of friendship and being in each other's weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alex and I we met each other right before kindergarten in Little League baseball.
Oh, no way. I didn't know you guys knew each other for that long.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that's 20 years, I guess, because they'll be like age 6.
Yeah, because you're
and
like
I'm
16
27
or something like that, right? Yeah.
I'm 27. He's 26.
You were on the same team?
Yeah.
What was the name of your baseball team?
We were the Brewers.
Okay.
I guess it'd be like all the Little League teams were like pro teams
in
the town. So we're the Brewers. And then we went to kindergarten at a private school, so not even the district we lived in. Yeah. And he was there. Met him.
Oh, no way.
We were in the same class, and then went to the same K through 8 private school, Catholic private school, and then from that, there's 5 high schools that we could have gone to. We both picked the same one. That was the district we lived in, because we lived like a couple miles away from each other. And then in college, we went to the same college.
Wow.
And I went there. I chose to play football at St. Scholastica, and then independently of we made the decision to commit to that school. I'm like within the same week.
Wow.
But independently of each other.
Wow.
We didn't even know we were committing.
Huh.
And then he was like, dude, I just committed to play baseball there.
No way.
Yeah, so he played
So you
baseball.
both in sports there too.
Yeah, I played football, and then we were, and then we picked the same major.
Oh my God.
We both picked marketing and management, which is just the main business major there.
Wow.
So we were in classes the entire time. And then I think we talked about the start of the business, but we were friends the whole time. He went the marketing side, I went the sales side. I've been in tech sales since I graduated college.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the hot tub at my parents' cabin after a couple sloshies, if you will,
Yeah.
a couple beers. And he was like, yeah, I'd like to start a marketing firm one day. And I was like,
You're like, maybe we should
do that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because up there, and this is, I hear this too all the time, we'd be at these bars in northern Wisconsin, and random people would be like, yeah, I have a marketing degree, or I'm going to college to get a marketing degree at Scholastica. And they're like, oh, hey, do you want to market for my siding business, for my roofing business, for my cabin painting business, for my plumbing, all these little things. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and I heard that enough times, and I'm like, there's a need for small businesses to do social media, because they all recognize that they need it.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and they don't have time to teach themselves.
Yeah, they're certainly all smart
I'm
enough to teach
sure
themselves.
Chaz and I would be awesome at it if we had the time to do it, and we don't, and that's why we're sitting here right now with you.
Exactly.
Because you and Alex are crushing it for us.
Yeah. And coming full circle, the bar that I was hearing that at, we had as a client. That was our first client.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
That's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really baby stages yet, but it's super fun. I love that I get to work with people like you guys that have actual passion for the business, because my background is in big company. My main job is for a company called FIS, 55,000 employees.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of passion in that business.
Mm-hmm.
People are passionate about making money and having their job and that stuff, but there's nothing like this. There's nothing like the owners, the president, the CEO, whatever you guys, what titles you want to give yourselves, making the product. There isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about having one foot right now in this world.
Yeah.
And also kind of, being.
The business is us being, available and part and present, and so that anybody can just roll up to the sloshy window and be like, "Hey, is Chaz here? Is Trav around?" Or no, because they're out doing sales and growing the business. But,
they're personally selling the thing across Wyoming, like you were last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you were in Colorado last week.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in Montana a couple weeks ago, and hoping to get out to the East Coast to do sales again whenever stupid COVID.
Yeah.
Freaking Rona. No offense, Rona Ferguson, you're great.
Yes, you are.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's fun, and I think that part of developing your business, you have to relish in all of that time you spend doing the little things, whether that's mopping the floors or figuring out how to work something out in terms of a challenge. Those things they're bumps, but you got to do them, and around that you get to actually enjoy the passion of what you love, and that's, I think, critical. It shows that you guys are doing that for us, and we love it. And chatting with you guys and hanging out with you guys is a lot of fun. And I think it's because you are driven to do that. And sadly, I think a lot of people don't have that opportunity, or maybe they don't want to, and they like kind of just doing their thing. But I think there's something great about being an entrepreneur, being hungry about what you want to do, and grabbing hold, going.
Building a business from scratch is freaking cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's really hard, but it's also really cool and super rewarding. So look at. It's cool that you're here because it forces us to step back and look at what we've created over the past 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy shit, man!
Yeah. This is freaking awesome.
We did it, you know, and we continue to do it, and it's not going to get smaller. It's only going to get bigger, and that's really cool. It's really cool that to be able to step, because you're in it every day. You're in the trenches, and it sucks.
Missed
sometimes.
A lot of ski days, a lot of fishing days.
We used to do a lot more fun things in the mountains, but this was something I wanted to say earlier. It's like all of us here in this town that are entrepreneurs that have started a business have started that business because we want to stay in this town. We're invested in this town. And it's a difficult town to live in because of the expense, right? It's challenging. Mm-hmm. But you take the big leap and you build a business, and you just know you're going to succeed.
Right.
And if you know you're going to succeed, you're going to succeed, and you're going to start making some money, and you're going to be able to live here for the rest of your life if you want to. And maybe start doing the things that you used to be able to do all the time when you weren't making any money.
But in a nicer house and a nicer car.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Your car might be more valuable or more expensive than your bike.
Yeah.
Or
just
your boat.
Just be a newer Tacoma.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Just you upgrade to a 2021 Tacoma instead of the old 17. But no, that is in a mountain town like this and all the other wonderful, awesome mountain towns around the States and Canada, it's like you have to figure out how to make it. And either you score some awesome job with somebody that's going to get you set, or you make it happen.
Yeah.
And so that's what you guys are doing. That's what we're doing. That's what a Humble Brew's doing. It's what everybody's doing around here.
Yeah, it's what Kate Binger Dwelling's doing. It's what... Who else have I had on? I mean, a lot of the real estate agents too. They're part of a bigger company, but they're really their own little business.
Totally. Yeah.
They're out there kicking ass.
Yeah.
And I think